Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for another edition of Wednesday Night Dynamite on the road to the Tag Team Spectacular. It's probably been about a week or so since I last booked this save, and it's amazing how much you can forget in a week, despite the fact all match cards etc. are already written out in a notepad, so hopefully I haven't lost the viewpoint of any storylines and the show is still as fruitful as usual. We are going to see a debut, 3 debuts on this show, 1 of an in-ring talent, and 2, let me just surprise you, 1 more so than other admittedly. 1 is a recognisable name, and another we're probably going to have to build up over time. But that's part of the challenge, and that's part of the fun. So without further ado, you've got a taping of Dynamite to do, let's do it. So this week we are live at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, shy of 15,000 in attendance, and we have our pre-show dark matches as always. Pete Dunne picks up the win over Brandon Cutler in 12:22 by submission, and a 61 rated matchup. And this is followed by a win for Kairi Hojo and Toni Storm, as they defeat Oday Tai, of course B. Priestley and Jamie Hayter, in 11:14 when Kairi Hojo pinned B. Priestley. Actually a very good 60 rated matchup there. Moving along, we had Samoa Joe defeat Luster in 8:52 with the Kukuna Clutch. The future of the Kingston's Paradise stable looks a bit iffy at the moment due to the suspension of Eddie Kingston, who is now in rehab. Moving forward, we had the team of Mayu Iwatani and Maya Yuki defeating Allysin Kay and Ali when Iwatani pinned Kay. It was a 49 rated matchup, of course Ali leaving for WWE and Allysin Kay set to retire, so we may have a recheck of our women's division. Interesting though that Maya and Mayu have excellent chemistry teaming together, so that's nice to see. And our main event for the pre-show was the TNT champion Prince Devitt picking up the win over Kip Sabian in 9:27 with the flying double stomp. 71, steal the show matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Dynamite. Kenny and Cody have got the 100 rated segment to kick us off, and it's just them counting down 6 weeks to go to Double or Nothing, and Kenny says he's fed up everything from Cody. He knows it's going to be a journey just to get to Double or Nothing, but it's going to be all worth it once he gets in that cage with Cody Rhodes with the AEW World Championship on the line. Cody smirks and just says, 6 weeks Kenny, it's a lot of dynamites, a lot of lightnings, it's time to make your life a living hell. So we carry on with that storyline. We start the in-ring stuff with Shayna Baszler picking up a win over Kiera Hogan in 6:07 by submission with a Nakamura. This matchup drew a 64, as of course Shayna Baszler wants that shot at the women's champion Mercedes Varnado. We then have a backstage meeting of the Dark Order where Brody Lee inspires the troops, of course mixed champion Anna Jay alongside Eva Luna, Stu Grayson, Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon, the women's tag team champions. Of course Abaddon I believe is in action later tonight, and that is a 61 rated segment, as Brody is certainly getting a bit more out of the troops with that rating. Abaddon was in action, she took on Thunder Rosa, so that matchup was next. Thunder Rosa with a surprise victory in terms of overness in this, as she wins in an 8:47 with the reverse DDT. 45 and a 47 is actually pretty respectable, but unfortunately the crowd are not too thrilled by them, but hopefully this will start to get Thunder Rosa a little bit over. Prince Devitt comes down, he's going to do some commentary on the following tag team match. Of course Brian Cage says he wants to get his hands on Devitt again, he wants that TNT Championship match again, so that's a 71. And the matchup that we see was superb, and it was the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Darby Allin defeating Brian Cage and Hangman Adam Page, just missing Ethan Page and Christian Cage in 14:45 when Nakamura pinned Brian Cage with the Samoan driver. So a 78 here. I'm thinking potentially going a 6-way at Double or Nothing. I'm unsure at the moment, so I'm kind of twiddling with a few storylines, putting them together just to see what we can come out of them. But obviously Devitt there inspecting Cage, and Cage was the one to get pinned, so Nakamura continues his wave of momentum. Backstage, Hangman is obviously pissed off that he lost because of Cage getting pinned, and John Silver and Alex Reynolds try and kind of cheer him up to say, hey Hangman, we're free, we're available. You know, we don't mind doing some bad, and I was going to say evil doing, that's what I'm looking for, evil things, evil doing for you. If you want us to go and attack them, we'll do it. I guess a 47. Unfortunately for Silver and Reynolds though, Hangman does have some tag team friends, and the Butcher and the Blade just beat the hell out of them. So only an 18, none of them have great overness. We are likely to cancel the face turns for Reynolds and Silver. But yeah, we'll just build up this wee storyline and see what we can do with them. Hopefully the TV time maybe gathers them some popularity. Moving along, we had the Uprising's Mark Quinn and Ricky Starks defeat Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in 9:08 when Mark Quinn pinned Sonny Kiss. 59. Simple, effective victory there. I think Kiss and Janela just suffer from being a decently over team that are in a position to put people over, but Quinn and Starks need the momentum, which they get with the victory. We are then greeted by our newest debutantes to AEW, and the former Maxine, the former Katrina, is here as Karlie Perez, her actual name, and she will be the manager for her client, Garza Jr. So obviously I was saying Garza. Karlie was one of the two people I'd considered to go with Miro and Claudio in Austin, but we got a name in instead of the Miz for that one. So looking forward to see if we can get her over. I think she's introduced into the mod, so she's barely any overness. So it's up to us to try and build up overness alongside Garza Jr. So 35, she debuts a bitch gimmick, which was great, and Garza Jr. is a cocky gimmick, which was adequate. Garza picks up the win over Matt Sydal in 8:42 with an El Muerto, 56 there, and yeah, just giving him some good momentum as he starts off. I don't think there's too many more we're going to sign from WWE. Obviously Ua Nation you know about, I think there's maybe one or two more that we'll maybe look at if the contracts come up, but after that we should, emphasis on the should, have a stable roster going forward. If anyone comes in, it'll maybe be lesser known bodies that have signed with AEW that weren't in the database, so to replicate real life. Samoa Joe then cuts a promo, which was a 73, just says he's keeping his eyes out on everybody. The world will be known that Samoa Joe isn't resting easy, whether it's new recruits, whether it's TNT champion Prince Devitt, a good friend of his. He's always on the lookout for more competition. 73. Speaking of new recruits, Johnny Gargano picks up the win over Rocky Romero in 9:22 with Hearts Donuts. 73 here. Rocky had another appearance on his loan deal, so I felt like, yeah, I'll put him in action. Gives Gargano the victory, and yeah, turns out they've got great chemistry, and it showed in their performances. But good win there for Johnny Gargano. We then have Austin Creed, Miro and Claudio alongside their new manager, who I forgot to give a picture to. That'll need change there. So Austin Creed says he tried to get hold of his man from Hollywood. Unfortunately, contracts wouldn't allow it. So he turned to someone he feels that definitely has the experience to give them every opportunity. The dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair. I absolutely panicked to get a manager for this storyline. So Ric Flair is in. Ric Flair's got overness that might carry over to Miro, Austin and Claudio. And yeah, it's kind of interesting how this pairing goes down as obviously he becomes manager of these three superstars. But I did toy with Karlie, but because of her lack of overness, we opted for Nate. So we'll see how that goes. Legend gimmick, very good. 71. And we'll have a picture in for the next episode. That's an oversight by me. Apologies. And our main event was exceptional, and this is why I'm loving the Lucha Bros as tag champs. I can put them in every main event against tag teams and superstars that I want to give opportunities to, and it works. An exceptional matchup. The Lucha Brothers defeat the team of Chris Jericho and Jungleboy in 22-22 when Rey Fenix pinned Chris Jericho with a Meteora. During the match, we had Wardlow run in and attack Jericho. This gives the Lucha Brothers their 5th defence of the AEW World Tag Team titles. Rey Fenix and Pentagon, obviously excellent chemistry. He's always going to get his 100 ratings for Rey Fenix, which is great. A great opportunity in the main event for Jungle Boy, and Jericho is still over despite being 51, but 91 there, fantastic. You only get a few negatives there, will probably be Jericho's stamina. Not even his stamina, just his declining physical ability. Jungle Boy being inexperienced, but he's going to get that over time. And Jericho's gimmick not really being a babyface. And we end the show with a beatdown, because that's what we do here, and it's MJF and Wardlow beating the living daylights out of Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy. Smug look on the face of MJF as we cut to the end, and that was an 82 segment, giving us a show of a 90, which will increase our popularity in the US and Canada, I believe. Great opening segment, obviously continuing that Cody Rhodes Omega stuff going forward to Double or Nothing, and leaving us with a few matches that we're going to build up towards that Tag Team Spectacular. Overall, happy with the show. We get a few things carried on. We're trying to build, as I say, towards 2 shows. And the Lucha Bros, yeah, basically just giving us match of the year contenders practically every single night. So one on the Tuesday, one on the Wednesday, probably one on the Thursday. It's looking good. What we got here? Fantastic reviews for the show. AEW Heels was not great. That was Thunder Rosa defeating Cassie, Kairi Hojo defeating Nyla Rose, Daniel Dashwood defeating Leva Bates, and Hikaru Shida and Riho with a win over Ali and Ashley Lane. I'm thinking maybe even recruiting if I really need to, maybe 10 more women that are maybe not the most over, and utilising them on this show to allow the more over women to be picking up victories, and so even like Leva Bates can pick up wins and then she can then lose on Dynamite as opposed to losing on heels in front of not too many fans. Probably as many fans watching as there is in attendance. Trevor Murdoch's going downhill as expected, and Mercedes Martinez. I've got a cheat to say this after Mickie James said it. It was the opposite, but she's 41, is that a bit old for a female wrestler? Mickie James obviously a while back now, as this was recorded, said yeah, ageist is happening with the women, which is true, and I've practically went against it by saying Ali and Ashley Lane were a bit too old, but we do have a real youth movement in our women's division, and that's probably going to continue going forward. Speaking of that, Leyla Hirsh is in, 8-year contract. Of course, Leyla is just 25. She's legit, and she is going to be one of the cornerstones of the division. You can see there we are actively looking to extend a couple of contracts. So I just want to confirm why we're doing certain deals. So CM Punk's deal was always going to expire as a commentator. That will continue. I think we'll just keep him out the ring. Jungle Boy will obviously want long term. Sonya Deville's released by WWE as a free agent, so there's plans for her. WWE have offered a contract to Priscilla Kelly and Bea Priestley, so we're looking to extend them in exclusive written deals. I felt we needed another referee, so Mike Chioda's in, and we're offering Marty Scurll a 1-month deal, so we can release his ass at the end of that 1 month. No other reason. He will not wrestle for this company. Rocky Romero's gone from AEW due to the loan deal being up. Drug test was 9k, 5k for the AEW heels, and we get a 3.07 for our TV rating. Of course, Lightning gets more because of the bigger AEW Live network within the US. That is a good position to be in. So we don't need to... If anything, going forward, we're probably going to lose pop in the US just because we're so over here. Canada fairly over. Just Japan's getting there. It's just India. Oh shit, we could be here for like 4 years putting on stellar shows and we'll still be struggling over in these places. But alas, it is what it is, and we shall carry on. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. On the road to AEW Lightning, as we start to get closer to putting towards the card for the Tag Team Spectacular. We'll hopefully have some matches announced at the end of the next show, Lightning. So cheers for watching, good day and good night, see you soon, bye bye.